with the lesson, with the question. So the question for me today is one of the things that I'm really value in working in a company, right? And right now, especially, I am an academic coordinator. I always give feedback to my teachers, and I also receive feedback from either from my boss, my supervisor, or from my teacher as well. So my question for you is, imagine, right, that you are at work, right? Or, think about when you work. For people that are working right now, think about when you are at work. How often do you receive feedback on your performance from your boss? Is the feedback informal or is it a formal performance review? Right? Think about these two questions. If you are not currently working, you can think about when you was working in the past or when you were at school, right? So your boss in this case could be the teacher or anybody that has more authority over you. So how often do you receive feedback? And is the feedback formal or informal? And this will be kind of like a chance for you to get to know your friends from all around the world. So what I'm going to do is I will put you in a breakout room and you will talk about these questions and maybe introduce yourself a little bit to your friends. All right. So we have 8 students, participants. So I'm going to put you in 4 rooms. You just click join and you be right with your partner. How often do you receive the feedback from your boss? And is that feedback formal or informal?
Yeah. All right. Very good. I'm glad to see everybody's back with their smile on their faces. All right. Awesome. So I changed my mind. I know I told you before I put you in a breakout room. I told you that we're not going to do listening, but I changed my mind. Let's practice some listening because I want you to practice some listening with different accent, right? We know that English, not only Americans speak English, right? Australia, British, Ireland, right? A lot of people around the world speaks English as their first language. So I want you to get to practice with different accents as well. So what we're gonna do today is you will hear an accent, a British accent, and then this guy will talk about his job and that will relate it to his performance review. So I guess that makes sense for me to have you listen to it, which is a little bit close to the topic that you just discussed with your friends. All right, are we ready to listen? Yes? Okay, awesome. Bear with me. It's gonna take me a couple of minutes here. So we're gonna listen, share computer sound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the first time. And then I just want you to just figure it out. What is this person talking about? And when you listen, right, if you could try to find answers for these 3 questions. Why did Ahmed, this is the person name, want to change his job? Why were the first 6 months hard for him? And why does he think he made the right decision? So you're gonna try to listen. Again, he has a strong British accent. Try to figure it out, the answer for these 3. If you cannot answer for the first time, it's totally fine. I will play the second time for you to hear as well. So let's listen. It's only 1 minute long.
15.1.
Can we all hear well?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
15.1.
I was having a few problems with my previous company, so I started to look for a new job. It was a very traditional company and I didn't like the town much. Anyway, I heard that one of our competitors had opened a new office a few months earlier, and they were recruiting more staff. Unfortunately, it was on the other side of the country, but I applied anyway, and it worked out really well because they offered me a job with better pay and relocation costs. Of course, the first 6 months were hard because I was living in a new city, but all my new colleagues made me feel at home, so that really helped. Anyway, I've just had my first annual performance review, and the feedback from my line manager was really positive. So it was definitely the right decision.
Okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to play one more time. And this time I am going to pause in between. What I want you to do is I want you to write down the answer, right? Because what we're going to do today is we will focus on past continuous and past perfect. So I want you to really pay attention to what did Ahmed say about his experience. All right, are we ready? You guys have pen or pencil and paper, or I don't know if you want to type it in, because I want you to focus on sentence structure, past continuous and past perfect. All right, I'm gonna play one more time.
15.1.
I was having a few problems with my previous company, so I started to look for a new job. It was a very traditional company and I didn't like the town much. Anyway, I heard that one of our competitors had opened a new office.
I'm sorry. So the first answer was already there. He already said it. Why did Ahmed want to change his job?
He
Because,
didn't like the town.
Competitive.
Yes, he didn't like the town. What else?
it was very traditional.
Was very traditional. Very good. Anything else?
He had problems with his job.
He had problems with his job. It's all past tense, right? Because it happened in the past, ended in the past. So we use past simple. He had problem. He did not like the town. Excellent. Now let's focus for number 2. Why were
he didn't like the town?
he didn't like the town? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like okay, TOWN.
Correct. Yes. Thank you. All right. Number 2, why were the first 6 months hard?
I heard that one of our competitors had opened a new office a few months earlier, and they were recruiting more staff. Unfortunately, it was on the other side of the country, but I applied anyway, and it worked out really well because they offered me a job with better pay and relocation costs. Of course, the first 6 months were hard because I was living in a new city, but all my new colleagues made me feel at home. So,
Why were the first 6 months hard?
Because he was
Because
living in the new
in the
city.
Yes.
new city.
I heard
He didn't
somebody-
But
Okay.
his colleagues were very good. Were very good with her, with him, you know, and he felt very well.
Good. Excellent. I think somebody said all the answers are great, right? But I heard somebody said he was living in a new city. Good. That's what I want to hear, right? That's past continuous or past progressive, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about it today. I don't think we're going to have time, but I want to focus on this, and I want you to look at the form is we call past progressive or past continuous, right? Happened in the past, continuingly in the past, but at the end, it ends in the past, right? He was living. Good. That's great. Last one, number 3. Why does he think he made the right decision?
feel at
Because
home. So that
he,
really helped. Anyway,
him.
I've just had my first annual performance review, and the feedback from my line manager was really positive. So it was definitely the right decision.
Okay, why does he think he made the right decision?
The feedback
because
with
of,
his boss.
Yeah, they give him better pay, and he recommend for him more stuff.
Good, good.
And he received a positive feedback of his boss in the
Good.
new job.
Anybody else?
Manager's response is very positive.
Yes, yes. So he received the positive feedback. Good. And the feedback was positive, right? So anything along those lines are great answers, right? So I want to focus on received. I put in a chat. Received is a past tense. Feedback was positive is a past tense, right? These are something that most of the English language learners sometimes forgot, right? Because in a lot of languages, I know for a fact, you don't have past tense. You just said something in the same present, same simple present, and you add the word to show that it happened in the past. But in English, if it's in the past, we need to use the past tense verb. So like I said today, this is just kind of like an introduction. What I really want today for you is I want to talk about two things, past perfect and past continuous. Unfortunately, I look at the time right now, we do not gonna have time, but I will introduce you first, and maybe if you want to come back next week, we will do the practice. So past perfect, right? Past, it happened in the past. So past perfect had past plus past participle. What is past participle? So in English, we have verb that are present, past, and past participle. So if I give you this verb, eat, ate,
Eaten.
yes. So eat, present. I eat banana every morning, right? If I want to say I eat it, but yesterday, I ate banana yesterday. That's a past tense. Happened in the past, ended in the past. But last one is past participle. It's more than past. So that one come into this tense, past perfect. When do we use past perfect? When we want to talk about one event that happened in the past before another event in the past completed. What does it mean? Take a look at the sentence. The meeting had ended when he arrived. So how many events we talking right now? Two. One is the meeting ended. The second one is he arrived. Which one happened first?
Meeting.
Meeting
ended.
Yes. So when you want to talk about two events in the past, right? The one that happened first and ended first, we use past perfect. It is very important because like I said, in English, if you say, oh, the meeting ended when he arrived, the listener will not understand. So which one happened first? Did he arrive first or did the meeting end first? Right? So if it happened first, ended first, past perfect. Past perfect often appear in sentences with word like when, by the time, because, and so. The rest of the sentence usually is in the past simple. Words often used in the with the present perfect are often used with the past perfect. For example, for, since, yet, just, never, recently, and already. The email had already been sent when John noticed the mistake. How many events are we talking about?
2.
2. Which one happened first?
The email.
The email, right? Email had already been sent when someone noticed the mistake. Both happened in the past, but the one that happened first, been sent. It happens to me all the time. And that's something about email. It's great, but once it is sent out, you cannot retrieve it back. Right? So the email has already been sent out when Katsuda noticed that she forgot some information. So past perfect, that's how we use them. Second tense that I want to talk to you before we leave today, and again next week, if you come back, I will talk about it again and some practice. Apologize, I don't have time and I usually prepare more stuff than I'm thinking I could. Past continuous, was or were with the ing form. Continuous, or sometimes you could hear it progressive, right? In British, it calls continuous. In American, it's past progressive. Either one is the same thing. When do we use it? First, we talk about something that in progress, meaning happening right now, but it in the past. It usually appears with the past simple in the same sentence. You see, these two tenses are similar, right? Past continuous, two things happened. We were talking when he arrived. How many events are we talking about?
2.
2. Talking and arrived. But it happens pretty much at the same time, right? It's not like past perfect when something had done and something came up. This one, it happened right now, happened in the past, and something happened in the past as well, right? If you look here, we were talking, he arrived, right? Sometimes it might interrupt or stop the action B. We were talking, he arrived. Same thing. Yes? Sometimes past continuous used to give a background information in the past. For example, we were phoning customers all day. This is very British. We were calling customers all day, right? Background information. You would see this a lot because people use this a lot in the conversation. When you watch a movie, when you watch a Netflix show, right? People say, oh, I was waiting for him all day yesterday to call me. It's not literally mean like you literally waiting all day, but it was in the past. Does it make sense, everybody? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So past perfect, again, past perfect, two events, both happened in the past. The one that happened first and ended, past perfect. Second one, simple past. Past continuous, two events, both in the past, but one of the events continuingly, right? And when the second event happened in the past, either it happened at the same time or it interrupted, right? Next week, what we're gonna do is we will come back and practice these two tenses. I'm preparing, one is to have you put it in the practice, and the other one is I want you to put it into conversation. Unfortunately, we will not have time for that today. So if you want to practice more, we will come back next week to practice about this.